Alleluia, 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 alleluia. A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "You have learned how it was said, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But I say this to you, offer the wicked no resistance. On the contrary, if anyone hits you on the right cheek, offer them the other as well. If someone takes you to law and would have your tunic, let them have your cloak as well. And if anyone orders you to go 1 mile, go 2 miles with them. Give to anyone who asks, and if anyone wants to borrow, do not turn them away." The Word of God. Today's reading is from the Sermon on the Mount. The Mosaic law that Jesus recalls, an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, sounds really harsh, yet it was in itself a statement of justice. It was put into place to restrain unlimited vengeance. It limited what damages one could expect to what was considered proportional, equal, and fair. So, if somebody took away your livelihood, they were responsible for feeding and caring for your family. Yet Jesus, in a section that some commentators call the hard sayings, seems to be going a step further. On the surface, Jesus seems to be saying, let it happen. Justice, power, greed, corruption are all mentioned. And Jesus appears to be saying, ignore it. Don't make a fuss. We know, in fact, that this is quite the reverse. Justice is what Jesus seeks for the neighbour, but that requires a willingness on behalf of us, a willingness to allow a complete emptying of our own wants and desires for the sake of the other. What we are being called to is an understanding of the importance of reacting not with the restrictions of treating others as they have treated us, but with bountiful and merciful love. An early episode of the Big Bang Theory has Sheldon concerned that his Christmas gift to Penny not be of lesser or greater value than hers to him. It's a tempting way to look at justice. They've done that, I must get this back. But that's not the point. Equality is not sameness. Justice is not retribution. We are called to place ourselves in a position of trusting God by emptying ourselves of our material desires and our want for revenge. Righteousness, God's righteousness, involves giving us the freedom to love and serve. That is no way constricted by another's character, motives, or actions. We are not called to love those that are like us and that we find sympathy with, but to love all people, even those who are unfamiliar to us and maybe not so nice. Jesus wants us to be free of the limits of gossip, prejudice, and just, oh, I don't like them. To answer violence with violence or unreasonable demands with resistance is to do what the world expects us to do. Jesus is calling us here to imagine our lives radically different and thus prompt ourselves to see our actions anew, to ask ourselves, do I seek revenge? Do I use laws and rules to protect my security? Or do I seek to promote justice for all, even when it makes me uncomfortable? How can I do an act of kindness today for someone who it's difficult to like? Or will I limit myself to be nice to those who are my friends or just like me?